1 hour, which is usually what we do. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG INFUSION Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. We got a new lineup for the Quantum. So the Quantum Black Star now has a color collection. And it's going to be ILE, Infusion Light Energy, Quantum Color Collection screens. Now, the colors we have that we're going to be bringing out pretty soon, it's going to be Black Jade, Midnight Rose Gold, Deep Blue Cinemax, and Black Haze, which can't wait. That's the Black Haze we have right there. It still needs, it's only at roughly 5%. We do want to make it darker, more richer brown to it, more richer haze to it, where we want a more deeper, richer color. But right now, at only roughly 5% completed, it's showing outstanding promise. Now, projector we're using in the demonstration is our Christie LW400. It's an XGA or WXGA 720p projector. As you can see right there, we're not even using our HDMI ports. We're using VGA to HDMI, which means that even if you do get an older projector, our projector does have an HDMI port, but it doesn't work. But we don't have to have it in the day. These screens pick up amazing resolution. Do you have to have expensive projectors? No, you don't have to calibrate. It's ultra short throw compatible, fully weatherproof, low VOC, eco-friendly, low odor, and water-based. Because again, my lungs don't have to be water-based. All right, and it's an easy one-coat application, and you're done. That's it. So no hard to understand instructions. Now, we've done the test run on it against a white surface. I have to do this all day long, showing the comparison. Lights on, partial light, dark environment. Now we have a $7,000 or $5,000 or $7,000 certified projection screen. We have DA-LITE PARALLAX 0.0 with PARALLAX PURE 0.1 screen. Now keep in mind, 8.0 screen. Jeez, 0.8 screen. My bad. I'm way off on that one. But anyway, so we get this a lot. We go to forum sites. We show up these different color screens, and the first thing people think, well, the color balance is going to be thrown off because it's a different color screen. Contrast is going to be thrown off, different color screen, and the white levels have to have a tint of whatever color we have applied to the surface. So this is what we do on these demonstrations, where we're doing tons of white level demonstrations. You'll see a lot of that. I'm about to break open Old Faithful. She was at 1,000 lumens. We're going to hit her with the screen and show you even at 1,000 lumens, no disruption. Even at 300, no disruption. Even at 50, no disruption. And disruption. And keep in mind, the screen is not even done yet. So we got quite a few of these. Now, the color combinations, well, not color combinations, the color collection will be separate from the Quantum. The Quantum's of black technology. The Quantum will have another version of itself, which is a spray-on application. It's a highly concentrated formula designed to bleed through surfaces. We're going to have those with floors and ceilings, and fantastic for those white outdoor inflatable screens that temperamental surface. Yeah, you'll be able to coat those with no problem whatsoever. One coat, you're done. All right. Getting back to this technology. This is also part of the Quantum series, but it's a color Quantum series. It will have a separate shopping cart. That shopping cart, any colors we make, it's a free color option. Just pick out what color you want and go from there. Now we are going to have them lined up so you can see exactly the difference between contrast colors and white levels, which we showed you on the test run of this technology versus the black screen behind it. All right, so let's get some nice high-end white levels first. Snowstorm here. That's the certified right there. Daylight laying against the screen. One of the things I've noticed in studying certified screens, that certified screens have this reflective surface to generate higher white level. You have to, because any darker screen, the minute you go dark, you go through that sacrifice field, your white levels start to drop. The problem is if your white level balance is thrown off, if it's too high, you can't recolor or contrast. It throws it off. So I can see our white levels are maintaining with no problem whatsoever. What happens is this screen on the 15% over here, it turns dark. The 15%, that would be our ILE, what's it called? Visual Tech TV technology. That technology right there is a whole different category class. Those are front and rear and everything else, but that's a tile system, and we're still testing that out, and there's a bunch of those. This one, we're starting off with 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of these we're going to be doing. All right, so you see our white levels are kicking. Can you smell what the cocoa is cooking? White levels are too high. That's why I can't pick up the detail. So the detail you see in there in the white, that's one thing I talk about when we do the demonstration with the cottage. And people thought it was all about the white levels. Whoop, right off the top of the head, missed it completely. So these demonstrations here, the reason why we like doing them, because they pick up these really high white levels. You got soft blues here, you got darker blues down here, and then you got to pick up the contrast, which is needed for these trees for detail. If your screen's generating too high of a white level, you're not picking up any shades of blue in this demonstration. You can't pick up the sky, you can't pick up the shades of dark blue over here in the water, and then the detail that's needed to add more depth to your image, you can't read it because you can't pick up the contrast levels correctly. Even this technology has a slight bit of shifting technology, but once we advance it on Monday, you'll see exactly the massive difference between night and day. Well, you can see it already, but you know, it'll be an upgrade. We're going to put side by side versus the old versus the new, or upgrade versus whatever. We're doing side by side. See the improvement level we get. Now, mind you, when you're doing these projection screens, do not use them with ultra short throws. This screen is not ultra short throw. Ours is ultra short throw compatible, but I know the certified is not. Because I had to get an extra surface that was actually certified, sorry, ultra short throw for the $7,000 screen. Our technology is. I don't know what screen paint would not be ultra short throw compatible. I don't get that one. Now, these screens would definitely require to have a certain type of projector because of the reflective film they have on it. It may plague an ultra short throw or short throw projector. But if you're a screen paint, you should have no problem picking up on a regular screen. And people sit there and say their screens are ultra short throw compatible. We put it down there too. But compatibility for us is different. Compatibility means we do this against white levels, we do this at angle gain, we do this at fully lit environment, we do this outside, and you have to show the quality of what the screen can do. You can have a gray screen. It can be on ultra short throw. You can have our black technology. It can be on ultra short throw. If we show blue, blue's going to pick up better on our screen than the gray screen and the white screen. If we show black, we're going to read a 100% contrast level where the projector that on the gray or white screen can't read it. It comes down for screen paints as quality, the quality of what you're going to be able to see. Ambient light rejection will work on our technology on ultra short throw inside and out without a problem. Gray and white screen have issues with it. They have to be in dark environments because they can't read it. They're definitely not going outside. This is dark outside. So it's the quality of what you're going to be able to do. If you got a screen paint and they can't read it ultra short throw, there's a problem with your paint. And I've seen that. I've actually read in some people's descriptions their darker products can't read on ultra short throw. That is a really bad sign. They can only read on light gray screens, which again, can't express that enough. You can't read contrast on new screens. The screen you want to read contrast and you want the ultra short though would be the black one. Let's go over here and we got slow color changer in here somewhere. Let's grab ourselves a nice slow color changer. Slow color changer. Now mind you, we're in partial lit, and in partial lit, this screen should be doing a lot better. You don't have the blinding light over top of it. Because I'll get at the end of the day, when it comes to certified screens, and we like to nip everything in the bud. So we'll probably get at the end of the day that, hey, look, you're in a commercial environment, you're using lighting in an environment that's abnormal to our screen. All right, and you just told me a lot right there that we can survive environments that you can, but they can use that as an argument. Well, we're in partial lit. So there's no excuses. Because I've literally got that from people in forum sites. Not them, but I've got people in forum sites who own their screens and say, well, it's not fair because the lighting you're in. That screen's not designed for that. That screen's designed for home theater. It's not designed for commercial. All right, we got partial lighting here. No light in the screen at all. What's the excuse now? Same thing I want to do with Elite Screen Dark Star 9. We had a projector sitting on the floor, and a guy from a forum site came in and said, hey, you can't have that projector on the floor. It's got to be up high. It's got to be aligned with the screen. Well, I'm not having a problem with it. I ain't spent $3,000 for a screen. Let's pay $3 grand for a screen. I got to align that thing right so it fits just enough. Mine, if it's too high, it goes dark. If it's too low, it goes dark. If it's to the left, it goes dark. If it's to the right, it goes dark. You got to have it in line with the screen. Because the now viewing cone that triggers off. So I spent $3 grand to go through that. My product will be set on the floor. No problem. It don't make a difference where I put it at. We've literally, at one point, in our company, went through long discussions with people in different forms about where our projectors were sitting. Well, again, like I said, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I better be to put that projector anywhere I want. All right, so showing you our new color quantum technology, part of our new collection involving the quantum technology behind it versus a certified projection screen. Now, we haven't got our prices in yet, but it's nowhere near what these things cost. That certified right there, nowhere near that. And they are going to be slightly a little cheaper than the black screen behind, because the black screen needs a heavier, higher contrast level. That run through. Oh, we got to turn the lights on. I got to. That's what I do. Well, let's do lights out first, okay? And then we'll do lights up. Now, what makes this interesting, and I love doing this when I go to forum sites, is these screens are not traditional colors. Not traditional gray, light gray, mid gray, gunmetal, dark gunmetal, ultra dark gunmetal. It's not that at all. These screens are odd colors, they're strange colors. So most likely when we show these screens off, the first people think is because the screen is a different color, maybe blue, maybe red, maybe green, it's not going to have the ability to produce different colors. As you can see, it's producing different colors with no problem. Right next to a $7,000 certified, which would be a higher grade than a white sheet of paper and gray paint. So we can overpower that screen and be able to produce beautiful colors on a screen that's not even the tradition of colored screens that tells you exactly our skill level where we're at. Which I mean, we can alter colors of screens. We can change the color we want. Which in the future, that's going to come in quite handy for those of you got those man caves at the end of the day. You want a screen to be able to match your environment. And if we get that lock in with the NFL, that means that we can put that NFL logo around the screen. And I don't think they're going to have a problem with signing in with us. I get it all the time. We show off colored screens. Can it read color correctly? Yeah, it reads. That's without calibrating. And it doesn't require expensive color wheels, expensive projectors, and all that stuff. Not even needed. $50 projector, for those who want to know how much we paid for the projector in the demonstration, $50 on eBay. That's it. Now, we have the sizes we're going to go with for the color collection. Quantum color collection is going to be 20 ounces, painted screen size up to 120 inches. We're going to have 32 ounces that paints the screen size up to 150 inches. And when it comes to the 50 ounces, they paint up to 180 inches. Gallons will not be available in this technology. It's not needed. The average person that buys from us is companies will buy gallons of it. But the average person from us, they buy about 50 ounces. That's the most they need. All right, we got the lights off. Let's put those lights on now. Now we're in a fully lit environment. Mind, this screen has a 0.8 gain sitting on top of it, so it should be able to do well in here. But as you can see, our technology still pulls better color than the gunmetal certified, even though it's not the color of traditional. Okay, come over here and let's grab our white levels again, because I want to do with white levels and that. Adjust again. Slow color. Oh, forget it. 4K snow screensavers.
Like a relentless wave, moderate to severe ulcerative symptoms can keep coming back.
Alright, you got fully lit. Your lights out, fully lit, partial lighting. Lights out. Partial lighting. Partial lighting. Lights out. Fully lit. Starfield screensaver. There we go. Now it picks up slightly a bit better contrast, but like I said, that's why we're making the screen darker. They say, "Oh my goodness!" Yeah, again, you guys don't test. You don't. You jump the gun. That's why we do testing, so we can figure out we need to change in the screen. This technology is only 5% done. There's a darker version on Monday that's being engineered for this technology. It's going to be upgraded. So we want it darker. I said in the last couple of videos, it has to be darker. I mean, the contrast levels will drop a little bit darker. Yep. So let's get partial lighting. Now we do partial lighting. Our screen pulls a higher contrast level. We don't want that. We need for the screen. If we do it that way, that means what that tells most people who cut corners and don't do their jobs correctly. This is what you do. You'll keep the screen in a ambient light controlled environment, knowing that the contrast levels will pull better if you're in a partial lit environment. That's what you do. That's why you use ambient light controlled. See the tricking behind it? So if you go in a fully lit environment, this screen will wash out. But if they stick it in ambient light control, they got a better chance of maintaining a better contrast over the screen they're going against. We don't want that. See that black technology? I can stick that screen against that black technology. Lights on, it'll overpower it, no problem. We want that screen to do what that screen can do. But it can't read the contrast level. Quantums read 100% contrast. That screen over there is a different color. So, the color screens, we need them to be able to overpower or certify its contrast levels. Now, if you want contrast and stick them against the quantum technology, the quantum can easily overpower it. Oops, don't want to step there, does it? It's funny how it stays there, it won't stay here. Like it will not stay on the screen for Jack. It'll fight this one. There we go. So we need to know that when we turn all the lights on, I need for that screen to be able to be dark, to be able to overpower that surface. But most people seeing that, what they'll do is they'll take the screen and say, look, it works best in ambient light controlled environment. That's so you can peak your contrast levels when your contrast levels aren't really working if you put it in a fully lit environment, which means you alienate entire commercial environments if you do it that way. You see? It has to be to do that. So when I turn on all the lights in here, that technology has to be to overpower that technology. In contrast, even though it's not a traditional colored screen, blacks aren't considered to be traditional colors either because they're black screens. Okay, snow screensavers. Yeah, certified can't turn that screen dark. It's virtually impossible. White screens can't do it. Why would a gunmetal do it? Impossible. Impossible. Oh, there it goes again. Nope. I want to be up against that black screen. But I think the things that are mind of their own. They do not like to be up against black screens. They don't. Any screens I put up there, they can't stand being against a black screen. They'll pull themselves off. I feel like they're pulling themselves off. If I put it against that screen, it'll stay. But that screen just didn't move. No problem, see? Black technology can read that with no problem. This is a finished product at 100%. This is another screen that has that contract sitting on top of it for $1 million now. Anybody want to challenge that one for us today? You know where I'm at, right? Have your lawyer reach out to me. Let's go to court. I'm literally going to talk this all the time. Anytime I go to any forum site, any kind of showroom, we're going to challenge people to take us to court. Talk is cheap, people. You got the contract, sign it. That's all you got to do. When your stuff is tested, you can do whatever you want to do because your stuff's tested. You already know 100% hands down what it can do. So certified white screens can't turn that dark. So yeah, they catch your video showing off this product and saying it does that. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go to court. That's an easy $1 million for me. A nice little plaque. I'm gonna frame. I think I'm gonna frame each one of my courts on court record, public records. I'm gonna frame them. Have them posted on my website. And this we can use your full name, your first name and last name, all that be up there. Your company's name, whatever. It's gonna be in there for everybody to see it. It's like slapping someone with the glove. I challenge you to a duel, but so we'll be in court. Every time I go into a courtroom, I get to show my technology off. That's why I like going in the courtroom. All these people get to see my technology, how wonderful it looks. That's why I like it. I get to show it off. But also at the same time, I get to crush you in the process. I love when people sit there and say, "I'm going to take you to court." Oh, yeah, let's go. Please, let's go. Please, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. You don't want to go. Now, all of a sudden, the attitude changes completely. Well, do the research on me, you find what kind of person I am. You'll get crushed in the courtroom next to us. It's the slow color changer. You do not want to walk in a courtroom with us. Don't do that. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do. That's the worst decision you will ever make in your entire life. Is walking in a courtroom with us. And one of these technologies? Oh, heck no. No. We do this all day. All day. I've done this on so many different live streams. It's not even funny on how many times we do this on live stream. For fun. One of these big companies, they won't challenge me in court. None of these companies will. You want me in court, one of these, you're done at the end of the day. And then we got it on court record. The money I don't care about. It's mainly having it on documented, on court public records for everybody to read. They won't walk me in there. So with that being said, we engineer our products to work. That's what I want to see. I'm seeing the color on this screen higher produced. I'm seeing the white levels produced nicely. I want to see that contrast. That's why I said the screens have to be darker. They have to be darker. It's only making the contrast levels and the shifting technology requires the screen to be a little darker. So yeah. They give you an idea what we're looking for. But most people, when they turn those lights on and if that screen drops, but they show it works better with the lights out, they'll use that's what the ambient light rejection excuse is. That's why they use it, because they know darn well the screen's having a hard time operating in fully lit environments. They use ambient light control because they know they can pick up a better contrast in those environments. AKA, you're going to be sitting in the dark. I have to be in this environment. That screen has to work. That's why we do testing, test runs. What about lights out, right? Let's try lights out. What does a quantum black look like next to a $7,000 certified screen with the lights out? There you go. Mind you, black screens aren't supposed to have the ability to be able to produce high white levels due to the fact that it's a darker surface. We could do this in an environment that gray screens can't even survive in. So the thing about it is, the big companies know what that technology does. They know. That's why I got all those messages piling up on my Facebook account right now about them inquiring about the technology, and they want to use it. They get their hands on it, watch the price jump through the roof. And I love when people say, I should have bought it when it was affordable. Yeah, because they knew what that stuff was worth. They know what they can sell it for, how much money they can get out of it. That's a $7,000 screen, as I said before. Company sees that, even their company sees that. They code their technology with this technology. Not only do they have a black screen now that's better than their gunmetal technology, and they're going to charge a lot more than $7,000, a lot more. They can get it. Can we get $7,000? Yeah, I got people that can market my product to charge that much money for it. Are we trying to do that? No, we're trying to go the other way around. We're trying to make it affordable for everybody. I had to go for a checkup, and I was talking to the doctor about the stuff that we do. Show him the screen turning to liquid, all this stuff. And the first thing he said, that stuff has to be incredibly expensive. I said, it's not expensive. Anybody can afford it. The everyday Joe can afford that screen. A person working part-time, minimum wage, even if he's getting $5 an hour, can afford that technology. Now, see a person being a doctor, he's on a higher level, makes way more income at the end of the day. He thinks that stuff is super expensive. I already told him that screen was like $15,000. He would have bought it. Not $15,000. It's way cheaper than that. Nope. We go to those high-end dedicated theater rooms. They got the high-grade screens in there. Nope. And $50 for the projector. Not necessary. No, it's good. 4K demonstrations. Massive difference between $7,000 and the screen that we have. This product right here is the lowest. What we charge for our customers is $187. So $187, I can paint a screen size of 120 inches at 24 ounces. Can take out a $7,000 projection screen with the lights on or off. It doesn't make a difference, and can read a contrast level that does not require an expensive projector to try to fix something that it can't do. The certified screen, not ultra short though compatible. I have a special surface that run on ultra short though compatible, so the ultra short those won't work for it, and you'll spend more money because the ultra short though screen is actually more expensive than that screen. Take it outside, you're not taking that outside. That's just not going to happen. You'll damage the screen. And for our customers who basically are doing dedicated theater rooms, not only can they do the screen with our technology, but they can also do the ceiling. You will not be applying a $7,000 screen to your ceiling. I don't even know how this is going to work. What quantums are designed to do: operate in extreme well-lit environments. That makes that harder for the certified screen to operate because now it's dealing with 10 times more light. It's a 0.8 gain sitting on top of it. So there's no excuses why it can't operate. Our technology doesn't have an issue. We can absorb all the light in the environment with no problem. So maintain our color, no contrast issues, pick up an Infinity 1 black level. Well, I just shut it off. Kicks and giggles, giggles and kicks. Kicks and giggles, giggles and kicks. So that's where we want our contrast level support on that technology. We need for it to be able to read a darker level, which means the screen has to be dark. It has to be dark. I'm going to get it a little darker. I want to change the color. I want it more deeper brown. Ugh. There's still what it's designed to do. There we go. I had to open the door in here, man. We get cooked in here. With some cool. So all of them have to be tested and certified. We got to get those 3 certifieds in here. There's 3 of them missing. I'm missing Diamond, and I'm missing Daylight. Daylight, they made it extremely hard for us to get that screen. And we got to mute a bunch of gray screens too, because we got that 15%. I'm curious to see how much that visual TV tile technology we got behind us, how many gray screens can it actually alter the color. So that's going to be another road trip one too on top of that. How many screens can be altered by that screen? I think I'm going to do Vigor Storm. Vigor Storm has a whole entire package of gray screens on Amazon. I'm going to pick those up and see how many that screen takes out. I've already did the certified version of dark gray on this one. It didn't do well on the technology. Technology is able to alter and change. That's probably the reason why I got all these messages popping up in my account. Most likely it's the same thing. They asked us if we're interested in doing business. No, not interested in doing business. Why? What would be the point of that? That doesn't even make any sense. We're both projection screen companies. That doesn't make any sense. What would I benefit from them if we're taking out their screens? I can't benefit anything from them. They're only going to be the benefit from us. And how would that even work? You know how much time it took to make that screen right there? All the testing they put in to make that screen? So you're going to take all that testing, throw it out the window, All the marketing you did on that product and throw it out the window. All the time you put in, throw it out the window. Manufacturing, all that stuff has to be changed over. It's a ripple effect that goes off. To coat it to black, to remarket the whole thing, or redesign another one. I don't know. I'm not certain anyway. I mean, if we do give them that ability, how much are you going to charge for it? You're not going to charge what we were charging for it. You're going to charge it to the roof. Which, what does that do? It unevens the playing field now. Now it becomes back to the haves and have-nots. So all my customers you see right now outside enjoying their screens, they can do this. What we got here for time? We got for time. We got for time. Let's get this over here. Wow. Hey. So when we're done with it, it should have the color as that cockroach over there. It's going to be a deep brown. Hey. Okay, well that's finishing up. Got all the information I needed. This is the reason why we have to do these tests. That's why it's very important to do these test runs. And that test run, I just realized that when we sit up on the door, it needs to be darker. It has to be darker, especially if it's going against gunmetal. You have to be darker. And issues if you don't. Yes, we're using shifting technology. That shifting technology 100% has a whole different type of coating. It's different. So that's a completely different category. Here we get the portable screens. Theater on the go, gaming on the go. They're going to be coming out this month. I got to basically show those off. I got to be out there showing those technology. I can get ready for that. We got a Philips mini projector coming, a Pico projector. I want to test that. See how the Philips read. Now the ones I like when it comes to DOP, the smaller projectors, they have the DOP hybrid. They're fantastic for that. LED portable projectors, please stay away from those things. Those things are awful. They are awful. Not worth the money. They're awful. Hey. So basically out of this test what we got, well we know it runs with lights on, lights off, the whole 9 yards, mid, partial. Only thing we got to do is just increase the dark contrast levels, which I was stating that from day one, we're going to make it darker. After that, we're good. They should be overpowered, no problem. So when the shopping cart is available with free worldwide shipping, by the way, we ship anywhere in the world for free. Kabow. You'll see before you can order the product, it'll ask you what color you would like. Right? People ask us, are we going to be charging individual prices for the colors? No, we will not. We are basically going to be a free color option. You choose the color you want, you like, and you go from there. Not charging you extra for color, that's madness. Besides, there's a lot of paint I'm going to have to do it under there, it's madness. But anyway, still, free color option. They just gave me a whole freaking commercial there. Yeah, they literally gave me a whole freaking commercial in there. Watch when I go back. New commercial. What I'm about to say. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I'm telling you, this new technology is going to be amazing. You know, it's beautiful too. Your screen's gonna look absolutely gorgeous when the projector's on. It's gonna look gorgeous when the projector's off. It's gonna look breathtaking. Now, we're going to do the upgrade version to show you the difference between the upgrade version and the regular version we have here, which is going to have a massive upgrade attached to it. Going to make it darker, more brownish color to it. And the colors we have, we chose. If you didn't read the specification sheet at the bottom, light specification sheet, we're still doing stuff on it. We're doing 1,000 lumens today too. White level test. I love doing white level tests. Going to bring out Old Faithful. All right, so Black Jade. Oh, Black Jade's gonna be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's like Christmas, your first birthday, and 4th of July. And the first time you've ever tasted sugar all rolled up in one. I don't think you're ready for that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't think you're ready for it. Midnight Rose Gold. It's gonna be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Deep Blue Cinemax. My goodness, I'm telling you. And another one is Black Haze, which you're seeing right now. And the Black Haze only at 5% done. And with the increase for upgrades, it's doing an insane, amazing job. So when I get back from doing what I have to do, because I got to go down to City Hall and get more information for something I'm working on, I'm bringing out Old Faithful. 1,000 lumens. White level test has to be done. We have to see what we're going to really lay at. Even though this is already, I want to do this at 5%, we're going to put the upgrade in, which is going to be much darker, which is going to be even more browner, more darker, more caramel looking. What we should do is screen that looks like caramel. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. But anyway, we have color capabilities. We've been at it for some time and had some fun here. Ooh, now look at how the color comes up. Kaboom! All right, people. Let's get this over here. Let's go here. Let's go back to the Lumens. That's gray screen, by the way. Gray screen and the gunmetal certified is different. And gray screen's not going to read anything next to this technology. But let me show you something. Watch this. Starfield screensaver. Oh, it's right there at the time. Now, you see what you found interesting here? Notice that the gunmetal surface, I didn't do them side by side. I'll be back. Because you have to see this. It's pretty interesting. You got to see this. Yeah, come on, stay up there just a minute. You gotta get there for one freaking stinking minute. Just wait up there for a minute. I want to show this off. Well, that's strange. Hold on for a minute. Alright, we gotta fight with this a little bit. We're gonna have a little battle going on here. No, it's not gonna stay. Isn't that just darker? I wonder. Did you see that? Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that if I take that screen and I turn it a different direction, it doesn't pick up contrast. If I turn it this way, it does pick up contrast. Now watch, we have it this way. See where the tape is at the top? I'm gonna take it, put the tab here, turn it this way, watch what happens. And we had it this way, now we're gonna turn it this way. Tell me if I'm not seeing things. That screen already changed. That's a narrow viewing cone. That's a flaw. That's definitely a serious flaw. That's a very serious flaw. It's kind of like, it's reacting like the ceiling light rejection technology under, we don't need it right now. That's what baffled me right there. It's acting like the ceiling light rejection technology in these screens has that. If your screen, if you turn the screen around a certain way that had the arrows pointed up, because this one doesn't have arrows on the back of it. When the arrows are pointed up, if you turn it upside down, it turns dark, completely unwatchable. But if you flip it up where those arrows are supposed to be at, the screen picks up. So this screen literally has a narrow viewing cone. I don't know what the heck that is. When light's hitting the top of the screen, because the screens are right over top of the lighting. They're right over top of the lighting. So that screen gets affected if it's not turned a certain way. That's a lot of money. That's a lot to go through for a $7,000 screen. So if I basically install that screen, well, I guess what they give you the surface. They give you the surface. That's the surface they're going to put into a fixed frame screen anyway. Fixed frame screen, motorized projection screen. They're going to make sure it's facing that certain way, so that way the screen basically can maintain this better contrast level. We put it against. It's not going to be a black screen, of course, but still, that's off. That's crazy. You should be able to turn that screen to $7,000. You should be able to turn that screen in any direction you want, and it should be able to pick up with no problem. That's a flaw on our end. That's a flaw for them. That means this screen has a narrow viewing cone. It basically, if you turn it the wrong way, it basically becomes lighter, and it can't pick up its contrast. Narrow viewing cone is the opposite way around. Narrow viewing cone works where the screen is bright, and when you turn to the side, they turn darker. That's the narrow viewing cone effect. I don't know what the freak you would call that. That the fact that if you have the screen up there at a certain angle, if it's turned this way, the screen produces lighter. If it turns this way, the screen produces darker. Yeah, it's a lot of money for $7,000. I'm going to a forum site and talk about this one. No one brought this one up to me. We just found it out by accident. That's what I found out about Screen Innovation. We're testing against Screen Innovation, the 1.4 Black Diamond. When I went to turn to the side, the screen went dark. And I was like, what the heck is that? And then I went back and told my buddy about it. I said, oh, that's called narrow viewing cone. So that's when I found out the screens have narrow viewing cones. But not only them, other screens I have tested with that reflective surface also suffer from narrow viewing cone effect. Now the Zero Edge, on the other hand, doesn't have that problem. The Zero Edge by Black Diamond doesn't even pick up a narrow viewing cone effect, but it is a lighter screen, and with it being a lighter screen, it can't basically compete with blacker technology or darker technology, which we engineered, which I had that surface already, and I can talk about it because I did the test. Oh, that is interesting. Oh. Interesting. Wow, interesting. Now, like I said, with the ceiling light rejection technology, there's arrows on it showing you where to put the screen up at. You want the screen, the arrows going up, that's where the light's going to hit it, that's what's going to produce better. This doesn't have arrows on the back of it. There's nothing back there. It's showing basically what the screen is. That's interesting. But if I were to take the surface, I'm going to put this on a wheel now. I got to put it on a wheel and spin it around to see exactly what sizes or what areas are affected. Okay, see right here? Now, when I turn it, it's dark. If it's darker, if I turn it, it's light. Yeah. It goes by whatever angle it's on. It's kind of crazy. And like I said, if you look on the back of it, usually it will have arrows. There's going to be an arrow there. This is just the showing what it is. But it'll be an arrow on the back of the screen showing you which area to point it up. That would basically pick up the contrast level. Now, this being the sample, you would think that would be on the sample. Because if you're buying the screen fixed frame, they're already pre-built. They're already actually going to set it to where it has to be at so the light, when it strikes the screen, it produces darker. And for us, this right here is a flaw. Because that means if we could take our screen and put it in any direction, then we're not going to have that issue. Now we're going to have to do, we have to have one, we have to do another one, we have to seal to the screen. Do the same thing in any direction. Huh. That's interesting. I never saw that flaw. I didn't see that flaw when I was testing it. I got to make some phone calls. I got to contact them and say, hey, why does your screen, when I turn it a different way, it turns darker, but then it turns lighter? That is interesting. Gotta see something before I go, because not this will bug me. This is why, when it comes to testing, we get our test done. If I don't, this will literally bug me all day long. It'll be in my head. I'll be pondering people. You ever ponder? You ever ponder? I ponder all the time. I ponder all the time. I ponder and I ponder some more. So I'm curious about this. This is why I was looking at this thinking that, okay, the difference between the gunmetal and the gray paint is the gunmetal picks up a higher contrast. But when I did that, it came up lighter. It came up actually the same color as the paint. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute. I just saw that screen go dark a few minutes ago. That screen went dark. And then I turned it and it went light. It went from light to dark to light to dark as I turned it. And I'm saying, well, why wouldn't they have, if the screen basically works better at a certain angle, why don't they have arrows on the back of it? Like Elite screen has arrows showing you where to point the screen where the light can hit it and it produces better. This one doesn't have it. You think it would have that on a sample sheet. Now, if you're buying the surface, it's already going to be placed into a frame or something. It's going to show you. Well, wait a minute. No, if it's placed into a frame, you still are going to have to build the frame and connect this into it. So you're going to have to know what size is where the screen has to face. If it faces downward, where we had it at, it'll come up too light. It won't be able to pick up. It's crazy. But then again, when you're sticking in ambient controlled environments, you don't have to worry about that because you're in an ambient controlled environment. This is what I want to see. Now, it's just a whole lot going in my head right now. So I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with the middle. Maybe we're in the middle right here, but no, it picks up. See right here where it's dark? Right there it's dark. Now watch when I turn it. Now it's light. It's dark. It's light. It's dark. Yeah, that's crazy. So this is what I was looking at. So I'm thinking I put that next to the gray screen, right? Our technology, you can see where the gunmetal is going to pick up a better contrast than the light gray screen. Of course, this is gray painted in the day. Now, if we were to stick that against the certified, the black technology behind it, the black technology can take that out, take the white screen out, take that out, take a black screen. Yeah, it takes all that out. But here's the kicker. lighter. Let's take these tabs off. Ah, stay. Working. It's working now. Got things we're doing here. Got to keep my brain ticking like this. So look, this is how you show right here. Now look at this. Now watch this. Watch the change. This is just so crazy. Look at the change. Now if you look at it, it's like lighter than the gray paint, which means that it has a narrow viewing cone effect in two different ways. It has a narrow viewing cone effect. If I were to turn to the side, the screen goes dark. But it has another different, like the opposite of a narrow viewing cone, like the what's the word? Like a reverse narrow viewing cone effect. That's what it's doing. If I turn it a certain way, it'll go dark. If I turn it another way, it goes light. That's like a reverse narrow viewing cone effect. Narrow viewing cone effect is when the screen goes dark, and when you turn to the side, you start with the middle. It's nice and bright. As you start to turn, you'll see exactly how the angle of degree of when the screen starts to go dark on you. It has two different narrow viewing cones on it. It literally has that. I'm going to be over in the forum site having a conversation with some people. Red screen. Now, bring up the red screen. Neither one of them can read red, of course. So we'll show you the narrow viewing cone effect that triggers off. Which I'm curious, is a narrow viewing cone effect trigger off here too also? Oh, it does. Now watch. You're supposed to stand in front of the screen. As you start to turn, see that darkness start to pick up on the corner? So as we start to turn, how it goes darker, this is what they call the narrow viewing cone effect. Come around to the front again. Slowly walk over, screen gets lighter, lighter, lighter. That's called narrow viewing cone effect. You see the gray screen, it's not having that at all because gray screens don't have narrow viewing cone effects at all, period. For them, it's quality. And if their colors don't pick up, they come up dull, they come up washed out. That's how they come up. White screens do the same thing too. So when I turn to the side, that screen has to look, it's dark as this point, but it can't pick up the other way, so it's just not going to work at all, period. These are the ones that suffer from narrow viewing cone effect, not that. This suffers from quality. This suffers from narrow viewing cone effect. So when I start to turn, it goes darker. That's what I picked up on the dining. When I was sitting there one time, when I go turn to the side and went dark, I said, wait, what the freak? I thought something wrong with my camera. Though my camera was having an issue. It's my first time learning about narrow viewing cone effect. And I thought it was the camera that was doing it. It wasn't the camera, it was the screen that was having the issue. That's what I found out about narrow viewing cone effect. I don't know how they got incorporated into a screen paint. So, that's the side that was lighter, right? So what happens if we turn this around to the side that went darker? What happens? Yeah, that's the side that's darker. But next to our technology, it still doesn't read. Now let's click out of here and let's go over to the contrast to show you we did switch it. It's going to change. Star-filled screensaver. And you'll notice it's picking up a darker color because now we switched it back over. Because these screens right here, I just noticed that if I turn it this way, it's lighter. If I turn it this way, it's darker. It has a reverse narrow viewing cone effect, which means instead of it going from dark, if we turn to the side, it goes basically from light to dark, depending on where you have the screen positioned, either this way or this way. Lighter this way, darker this way. But if we put it on regular colors like blue greens, it still washes out. It still doesn't pick up. Even though the contrast level is there, that contrast level doesn't pick up when we're producing color, which should pop off. Isn't that interesting find today? Interesting find. See, on this channel, so we learn things on this channel. .4K snow screensavers. black technology can easily read this. It's nothing for that. All right, people, that's interesting. Now I'm going to go to form sites where this screen sits and says, hey, question, when you take that screen off the wall and turn it upside down for me, I know what's going to happen if they do it. The screen's going to go either lighter or darker. One of the things going to happen. Man, you could get that screen and you could have, I don't know if it doesn't affect, so you can see it's not affecting the whites if it's upside down. We have it, well, I don't know which way, because there's no arrows telling me where I have to position it. So if I have it this way, say I set it up this way, then it's going to show the white levels, it's going to show everything, but if I switch it the other way, it doesn't pick up contrast. Now we can see that's the dark side, right? That's the dark side we just did, right? Let's switch it back over to the lighter side. This is the side that's lighter. Mark this. Our viewing cone effect. There you go. There's our black technology right there overshadowing. That's the brown technology, reading a nice white level. That's the certified, and that's gray paint. And a max out welded environment. Isn't that interesting? And now you know why people are terrified about having their products come to places where we're going to be at, because your stuff's not going to be in your environment where you're going to have it sitting in the dark with high-end machines to make your product look like it's working. We're going to stick your stuff in really harsh environments, and you're going to go through thorough, detailed testing that can last anywhere from an hour to 3 hours of testing. That's why we get canceled orders all the time from people. They know we're going to do their stuff when it gets over. We're going to do all the stuff that you didn't do. Because we know there's a lot of tests missing. There's a lot of tests missing. That is really, really interesting. Right there. See, that's the reason why if you claim a screen, when it certifies at the end of the day to have narrow viewing cone effect, you're going to have to prove this. Or they can basically get you for defamation, saying, look, you slandered my product. You sat there and said my screen's so dark when you turn to the side. Well, they do it. We had a customer, so actually one of my good friends, a customer who basically was going to pull the trigger on a $20,000 black diamond. He's going to pick one up. You saw my demonstration when I turned to the side and the screen went dark on this side. That's why when you watch certain screens, you will notice that they will never go to the side of that screen. You'll never see them stand in front of it and then do the whole slant from one side and then go back over to the side, because the white screen will go dark. That's why. And usually when screens like that have that narrow viewing cone effect that triggers off, ultra short throw projectors have a horrible time working on it. They go black. They go really dark. I know, I tested all that stuff. So if you're selling a product at the end of the day and you're trying to convince people who have very deep pockets to go out and spend money for your product over the fact that they're going to spend $7,000, $8,000, $8,000, $9,000 for a screen, how do you convince them? How are you sure that your product's better? You can't be in a dark environment. You got a 0.8, 0.9 attached to the screen, so you can't be in that environment. That's why when you got gray screens out there talking about, oh, we're saving you hundreds, you're not saving anybody any money. Yeah, spend money for a projector to fix that nonsense and then be stuck in the dark environment with it. It still don't even work. We know, we tested it. We definitely know, trust me. We tested it. We bought all that stuff off of eBay. And before he had, that's how we got our hands on it. We bought all that stuff from eBay. Before we got the website, we tested all that stuff. We took it outside. We had on different types of projectors. It didn't read. And keep in mind, I literally have on my site under the blacklist and posted on some other forum sites where clearly he wrote on the container on a dark screen paint mix saying it's not ambient light projection. That would be the one that would be ambient light projection, not all of them. And you can't get a paint that dark for ambient light rejection to absorb light. That's a major red flag right there. That's a major red flag. First things first, I don't know why you would challenge somebody that's used to working in well-lit environments to our technology's ambient light rejection when you're not. I already wrote that on the container. I couldn't believe it when I first saw it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. We doing that now? We doing Karens and screen paints now? We got Karens and screen paints. Karen screen paints. That's what we're doing now. We're going to talk a lot of trash on YouTube, and then when it comes time to buy someone's product and bring it over, now we're writing and putting instructions on it about you can't have it here, you can't have it on office your throw. Please don't put it in certified screens. Don't stick it in a partially lit environment or ambient light control. Don't put it in a fully lit environment. Oh my goodness. Here's the kicker. Forget your notes that you send to us. If your product comes here, we're going to test it on our level, on what we test our screens through. You're going to go through the same brutal test that we put ourselves through. And if you feel at the end, or stuff through, if you feel at the end of the day that you can't basically keep up to this, then this is what you do when you get on a YouTube channel. You zip it. That's what you do. That's what keeps you from writing checks that you can't afford to cash. Because that'll get you, again, zip it. Because again, don't be talking you can't back something up. Don't be talking about it. Sending me letters telling me at the end of the day, don't do this and don't do that. No certified. No. Jeez Louise. Condensity, these people. Sometimes I understand. All right, I got to get back to this. I'm having too much fun here. We're past our time here. I got some business I got to take care of. What do we got here? Man, we were out here this long. I forgot we do an hour per demonstrations are an hour to do these. All right, so I got a chance to see the verses side by side. No, we're definitely going to make the screen much darker. Actually, it's going to go like this when we get done with it, but it's going to be a much more brownish to it. It's going to be a little strange color to it. But anyway, and we got the other paints that we have. I got to come back in. I got to work on the shopping cart, get all that stuff ready. We got a showroom for this to start adding stuff to it, put information there, such information we have here. And I got to do a couple pre-records, got to do a couple of shorts and a few videos. But I think I'm going to do the shorts when we get all the colors done that we're going to be doing right now. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous, people. Now, I know you naysayers are upset. You're always upset at the end of the day. You're always upset at the end of the day of everything we do. But remember, I did sit there in the middle of the floor and make that statement, right? And our technology is just increasing. So we're not done yet. There's so much stuff. We're going to be engineering, designing. Mind, we got so many category classes. We can go visible, we can go floor, we can go... whatever we want. Pico. I love working with the Pico. I got another Pico coming in. So yeah, we can go anywhere we want because God gave us that blessing. Heck, I want to do portrait, to tell you the truth. I'm thinking about doing that. Or going to that Gamer Clear screen, which I want to do that too. Gamer Clear. Oh, that's a nice name for it. But anyway, so like I said, we got so much stuff we're working on. So much stuff. So, take that negative nonsense and point it in another direction. Do something else with it that's positive because, again, your negativity doesn't do anything for us. It doesn't. Didn't we just have this conversation like a couple of days ago? Now we're out here with colored screen paints. There you go. That tells you right there. Which one I'm more excited about right now? Let's get off the topic with them. We're done. Move on. I think the one I'm excited. The Jade. That black Jade. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't think you can handle it. We don't think you can handle it. I don't think you can handle it. It's going to be that beautiful. It's going to be that gorgeous. I cannot wait. That's going to be a beautiful screen. Oh, you have no idea. I can see it in my head. I can see all the colors in my head. But the screens look like, how they operate and everything. It's going to be a beautiful screen, I'm telling you. Anyway, people. I'm so happy. God has blessed us with so much amazing technology. Just the blessings never end. The blessings just keep coming, and they just never ever end. God is awesome. All right, people, gotta go. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology. If it weren't for Him, none of this would ever be available. Gotta go. Thank you all. Be safe and God bless.